The bell rang once, not for prayer, not for celebration, only as a warning. A low mist drifted through the narrow streets of Lyran, clinging to stone walls and wooden doors, as if it wished to stay hidden. The city was old, older than the men who ruled it, older than the banners that would soon surround it. Its stones remembered quieter days. Edric stood upon the northern wall, his hands resting on the cold parapet. He wore his father's cloak, heavy with age and smoke. His father had fallen 3 winters earlier, not in glory, but in a border skirmish already forgotten by the lords who ordered it. Since then, the cloak had been Edric's armor against memory. "They'll reach the gates before sunset," said the guard beside him. Edric did not turn. "Who will?" he asked. The guard exhaled slowly. "All of them." Beyond the fields, banners rose against the sky, black, red, white, each bearing a different sigil, each claiming a different cause. Yet all marched for the same reason. Lyran sat the crossing of roads and rivers, and in times of chaos, such places are never left alone. The king was dead. With him died law. The first arrows fell without ceremony. They struck wood and stone, embedding themselves like seeds of iron. Somewhere below, a woman screamed. Somewhere else, glass shattered. Fear moved faster than fire. Edric tightened his grip on the hilt of his sword. It was not well balanced. His father had always meant to replace it. Someday never came. "You should leave," the guard said quietly. "You're young." Edric finally looked at him. "If I leave," he replied, "then this city truly has no one left." The battering ram struck the gates. Once, twice. Each impact echoed through Edric's chest like a second heartbeat. Smoke began to rise from the eastern quarter. The bell rang again. As the sun lowered behind the hills, Edric understood something he had never been taught. History does not announce itself. It simply arrives, demanding a choice. And on that wall, as Lyran burned, a boy took his first step toward becoming a name that would outlive the city itself. Night did not fall. It descended. Fire spread through Lyran as if the city itself had grown tired of standing. Roofs collapsed inward, sending sparks in the air like dying stars. Smoke thickened the streets, blinding those who ran and hiding those who hunted. Edric moved through the chaos without shouting. Sound had become meaningless. Steel against stone, men against fate. He no longer searched for safety. He searched for space to breathe. His sword felt heavier now, not because of its weight, but because he understood what it was meant to do. At the market square, bodies lay where people once traded bread and cloth. A cart burned slowly, its wheel turning for no reason at all. Edric stepped around it, his boots slipping on ash. That was when he saw the knight. Black armor, no sigil, no banner. The man stood still, untouched by smoke or haste, his sword clean as if it had never tasted battle. "You don't belong here," the knight said, his voice calm. Edric raised his blade, though his arm trembled. "This is my city." The knight studied him for a long moment. "There are no cities tonight," he replied. "Only survivors." They fought briefly, too briefly. Edric's strike was desperate. The knight's response was precise. Pain exploded in Edric's shoulder, and he fell hard onto the stone. His sword skidded away, ringing once before falling silent. The knight could have ended it. Instead, he stepped back. "Remember this," he said. "Bravery is loud. Survival is quiet." Then he was gone, swallowed by smoke and shadow. Edric lay still, staring at the sky. Ash drifted downward, settling on his face like dark snow. He thought of his father. Not the way he died, but the way he stood, always straight, always silent. By morning, the fires burned low. Lyran did not rise with the sun. Walls stood, but the city was hollow. The streets were empty of voices. The bell tower was cracked, its bell silent at last. Edric pushed himself to his feet. Every movement hurt, but he moved anyway. He retrieved his sword, wiped it clean, and as he looked upon the ruins, he made no prayer. He made a vow. If the world had become a place where cities burned and names were forgotten, then he would become a name that fire could not erase. 10 years passed. Wars changed their borders. Lords changed their oaths. Cities rose where others had fallen, built from the same stone and the same lies. But some names did not fade with time. Edric's was one of them. He no longer wore his father's cloak. It had finally turned to dust, given back to the road it had traveled for so long. His armor was plain, marked by use rather than decoration. He carried no banner. Those who recognized him did not need one. He stood once more on a hill overlooking a city. Not Lyren. Nothing remained of it now but broken foundations and weeds pushing through stone. The city was newer, stronger walls, louder markets. The same fear beneath it all. Below, men prepared for war. A young messenger approached him, breathless and uncertain. "They say you've seen this before," the boy said. "They say you know how it ends." Edric watched the city for a long moment before answering. "It always ends the same way," he said quietly. "With fire or with silence." The boy hesitated. "Then why do people keep fighting?" Edric turned to him. His face bore lines that had not been earned by age alone. "Because they believe this time they will be remembered." The sun dipped lower, casting long shadows over the fields. Edric remembered another sunset, another city, a bell ringing into smoke. "I learned something in the ruins," he continued. "Names carved in stone still disappear, but choices, those remain." He rested his hand on the pommel of his sword, not as a threat, but as a reminder. "I do not fight for kings," he said. "I fight so fewer sons stand where I once stood." The messenger nodded, though he did not fully understand. As night approached, Edric walked away from the hill. Behind him, the city waited for its fate. Ahead lay only the road, worn, familiar, and honest. History would not sing of him, but somewhere a city would sleep through the night, and that was enough.